1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. Neptune in Capricorn. So Capricorn has to do with our place in the world. It has to do with our legacy. It's like, how do we want to be known when we leave this place? And when Neptune is here, it's like you might have a hard time when it comes to what your legacy will be. So because you have a hard time deciding, you may have a hard time like committing to a certain career because there's so much fog. Because with Neptune, it's like you can only see an arm's length out all around you. So because of that, it's like things are completely unclear. And then also Neptune has to do with us seeing things through rose-colored glasses. So you might have these really big dreams about being extremely successful and impacting the world and changing it forever. And even though all of that is possible, because the dream is so big, it's overwhelming and it creates procrastination. Because procrastination happens for two reasons. One is either we don't believe that we are capable of making that thing happen, or two, because we are terrified. So because we're terrified, we become overwhelmed and we keep putting it off and it never happens. So with Neptune in this placement, whatever your big dream is, sit down, write it down, and try to break it down into tiny pieces. It's like that saying, you can't eat an elephant in one big bite. I think it's Brian Tracy in one of his book, How to Eat an Elephant, and I think it's him. Hopefully I'm not giving credit to the wrong person. But basically talking about how, like, you know, in order to consume something huge, you have to break it down into tiny bite-sized pieces. So that's something that might be helpful for you with this placement. Another thing too with Neptune and Capricorn energy has to do with our father energy. The 10th house has to do with like our father or that male figure in our lives. And with Neptune being here, you might find that maybe, you know, with your father, there may be there could be mental issues, or there could be drug addictions and things like that, because Neptune tends to deal with prisons and hospitals, and you know, drugs play a part in like the whole, you know, basically drugs help our minds to travel. So that's how Neptune and drugs could, you know, drugs come into place. And Neptune being inside of Capricorn might show a situation where it's like, when it comes to your father or father figure, it's like they're a blur to you. It's like, even if you grew up around them, it's like you never quite understood them. And this could be the case too with Capricorn in the 12th house. It's like they're a blur to you the same way how your ambitions and goals are a blur to you. And you might find situations where you project onto them to constantly keep getting disappointed by them, where you might see them as greater than they really are, you know, and then in all reality, they're not consistent, and it breaks your heart over and over again because you keep seeing them that way. Or you might see them in a really negative light when in all reality, they're doing the best that they can. So with Neptune in this placement, it's like you're going to see all things having to do with Capricorn in the 10th house through rose-colored glasses. You might find that you escape through work, where it's like you isolate yourself from the world through work. Like working hard is, you know, something that you escape through, and work could be your own undoing. Just like, because wherever Neptune is, or whatever's in the 12th house, or wherever Pisces is in our chart, talks about our own undoing. So yeah, basically your ambitions could be your own undoing, in the sense that like you're so ambitious and you feel the need to make this thing happen so bad, to where it's like, in some cases, some people might plot to do things that, you know, might land them in prison, when in the very, very beginning, they had good intentions, but it got out of hand. And because of the whole rose-colored glass situation, they weren't able to see the reality of what was actually happening around them. So yeah, I think I said enough when it comes to basically Neptune and Capricorn. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.